Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the fucking crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
There appears to be something that doesn't sit quite well for me. Almost as though whatever it is that I am feeling doesn't need to be there. Only because whatever this is doesn't belong. I sense that there was something, or rather someone, who has just entered into our universe. And so I wonder what this could possibly mean now that it's here.
Our story continues now following the events of both Gowasu and Goku Black visiting an alternate timeline to speak to an alternate Zamasu. As with Goku Black and Gowasu now shown re-entering Universe 10, it was only upon them now being shown doing so where Angel Cuss went on to comment, so I see that the two of you are back a little sooner than expected, and I take it that you were successful in your mission, with Goku Black responding, we ran into a bit of an issue, and that was because Gowasu here decided to question my actions rather than persuade the other Zamasu into joining me. I did no such thing, Zamasu. I was only trying to speak sense into what you were doing, only because you were being extremely hard on the other Zamasu, and that's enough out of you, pathetic old Kaioshin. I saw you sneak over there and speak to your dying counterpart, and so whatever it was that you told him isn't going to make a difference when it's all said and done, and you know it. And I will not have you ruin this for me, for so help you, once Zamasu and I are joined as one, you are dead. Do you hear me, you feeble old worm? And as for you, Black went on to continue, the time to resume my Zero Mortals plan has begun, and so I need you to transfer me over into Universe 7 where I may begin by killing off both Son Goku and Vegeta. I await Zamasu's answer in the meantime, and so since I can't get there myself, I will need you to bring me into this universe immediately, and I will not wait any longer, with Cuss responding, I see, and so you wish to go alone on this journey of yours then? Do you not wish to take Gowasu or I with you in the meantime, with Gowasu chiming in, wait Zamasu, before you leave, think about what you are doing here. Think about what will happen if Universe 7's God of Destruction sees you there, or even if Lord Zeno is brought forth again as it was before. I urge you to please think about what you are about to do, and please don't go through with this. There is still time to change things, I beg you, with Black responding, you are truly starting to get under my skin. You know that, old man? I will not be taking orders from you. To which upon Goku Black now shown having to backhand Gowasu across the face, that was when Black then went on to continue, and so I will do as I wish to do, and there is nothing that you will do to stop me from going there, Gowasu. I grow tired of these mind games, and so while I'm away, you will remain right where you are, Black continues. I'm going to make sure that you pay dearly for your rebellion against me, and I know just how to keep you right where you are until I get back, and so you aren't going to be going anywhere but remaining on the floor where you are as of right now to wait for me. So now this ought to do it, frozen in an endless loop of space-time with only me as your key of breaking out of it or not. So now stay. To which upon Goku Black now shown encasing Gowasu in what seemingly looks like ice, it was just upon Black now being shown trapping Gowasu, where Black went on to continue, and while he remains where he is, I order for you to keep watch over the worm until I handle my business in the 7th, Cuss. And I will destroy him once I return, and that's a promise that I am not looking to break. And so now then, just like I said, take and bring me into Universe 7 at once. And I grow tired of waiting, and so the plan must be carried out right now. So now let's go. Well, yes, I understand your request, Cuss responds, but do be warned that if Lord Beerus were to learn of your arrival, then there is nothing that I can do to stop him from engaging you, she says. The same goes for Whis as well, if he chooses to get involved, that is, along with Lord Zeno, if he happened to also appear, and so I will leave you with this before you go so that way you know, she says. And if you wish for me to remain here with Gowasu, then I shall stay. I'm not concerned with Beerus getting involved, or anyone else, Black responds, including that little Omni King, so now do it. Well, if you insist then, Cuss responds. Best of luck to you while out there, God of Destruction. I will see you when you return. To which upon the angel now being shown transferring Goku Black on over from Universe 10 into Universe 7, we only moments after then see how Cuss was beginning to approach Gowasu's frozen body, as Cuss went on to respond, Lord Gowasu? Lord Gowasu, can you hear me? Listen to me, I will not allow for you to be kept frozen like this until he returns. I have a plan, but it must go unnoticed until the time is right, she says. We cannot allow for that monster to have his way in destroying everything without him being checked, she says. There is still time to change things, and so that is exactly what we're going to do, so give me a bit of time, she continues. Please don't give up. I'm very sorry that this had to happen to you, Lord Gowasu. I never thought that things would have turned out like this, but I promise that we will make it through. And so I only hope that my brother Whis and his destroyer do something about this situation when this monster arrives at their front doorstep. To where upon Goku Black now shown traveling from universe to universe, it was only as he was now shown doing so where Goku Black went on to comment, I'll show them. I will show all of them the true meaning of pain when I see them all again. Those worms have no idea what's coming, especially now that I am much stronger than I ever could have dreamed of being when I first fought those mortals. And I will not fall to them again. There is nothing and no one that can stop me now. And not only will I go and have my revenge on these creatures, but I'm going to make sure that there is nothing left by the time I'm done. Just as there was nothing left of me when that little Omni brat showed his face and erased me from history. I am much more than that Vegito that I fought against, including being much more powerful than I was when fused, Goku Black continues. I made sure to use what they have obtained against them, and in a different way too. Since of course that Ultra Instinct wasn't anything for my body to hold together, Vegeta's Ultra Ego was better suited, only I knew that I had to merge it with something in order to create the ultimate power. And so that's where Goku's son comes in. Him and his beast form of his, to harness the inner nature of what this body is at its core and combined it with the power of a destroyer. Through it, I was able to achieve the ultimate level of perfection and greatness, Black continues. Though it still may be hard for me to control at the time, I'm sure that I will have no problem using it once the time calls for it. And when I do, then I will go on to crush every single one of them, including that bastard Beerus, if he just so chooses to stick a nose in my business as well. No, because this time it will all be different, Black says, and those worms have no idea what I have planned for them once they see me. And once I complete my mission of killing them all for good, then I will head out and wipe away the other universes after them. Perhaps Universe 11 should serve as another fine example of setting the stage for the entire multiverse to witness my new power. I will crush Jiren and those Pride Troopers along with anyone else who decides to stand in my way. Yes, I'm going to make all of you pay for doing what you did to me, and there is nothing that any of you can do that will stop me. This will be where you will all finally die, and die for good. As in the meantime, while Goku Black was shown having to head towards Universe 7, we only from that point then make our way on over and seeing Zamasu use the time ring that was given to him, and from that point now being shown having to oversee the battle involving Merge Zamasu versus Vegito, as Zamasu went on to then comment, "So this was what Master Gowasu tried to warn me about when he said that I would become the very thing that I hate. What happened to me? What have I become in this world?" Zamasu questions. All this because of my anger towards the gods? My jealousy at the bias these mortals share compared to what I am supposed to stand for? Just look at me. The result of my merger with Black has created a monster. A monster who is falling apart midway upon battling this Vegito. Was I blind? I don't understand. Was I this enraged to have not seen what I have become during my time here? And even now, Master Gowasu still attempted to help me, even when I was already too far gone to remotely save. But even then, just look at these mortals' fusion go, Zamasu continues. This Vegito was far above anything my merger with Black was capable of, and even then, after seeing that I was completely outmatched and overpowered, I still tried to fight. And this wasn't because I was passionate to win, but it was my rage that drove me into the grave, and I can see it all happen now as they battle. And as I watch while the Kai stand there, they didn't just take the mortal's side just to spite me, they took their side because they knew I couldn't be saved no matter how hard they tried to do so anyway. It was this immortality that I had gained that resulted in this fusion falling apart when it did. That much is also clear, Zamasu continues. And more as this battle continues, I can feel my own hatred grow deeper with each passing second. And to think that I was the one who caused all of this, to create this perfect utopia, and for what, Zamasu questions? For whom? A utopia of what? Darkness? Loneliness? Who was I to be a god king of if there is nothing and no one left, Zamasu questions? I now see what my master meant, and I can now also see where this Goku Black was coming from, but this was not the way to do things. And so I must continue to see more from other timelines if I were to get the answers that I am looking for. I could never want to become what they have turned into down there, Zamasu continues. And there I would never become this monster who only lived long enough to be wiped away by the Omni King. Such an ending is not what I look for, especially not now, and so I must continue to look into these other worlds and see if what I assume to be the truth is real. One way or another, I will know the truth no matter what. In which, in the meantime, when then going back to Goku Black and now seeing him finally enter Universe 7, and from that point now shown descending on down onto a nearby city, that was when Goku Black then went on to continue. So this is Universe 7, is it? Oh, and just look at all of these self-righteous, self-indulgent mortals just going about their lives carefree, as though they are happy to live in a world filled with sin. This world is exactly as I remembered it being when I first followed Trunks here and battled Son Goku for the first time. Yes, which speaking of, I don't sense his energy anywhere, Black says. Neither his or Vegeta's can be felt on this planet, but why? This is the correct timeline, is it not? Oh, so is it possible that they are not here? Perhaps dead? No, they can't be dead because this was the timeline which the original Goku and Vegeta came from to do battle against me in Trunks' world. Oh, they must be around here somewhere, but where, Black questions? Perhaps I will need to draw them out just as they did with me when they entered into Trunks' world. But there is one other energy that I am able to sense nearby on this planet, but he is certainly not Son Goku or Vegeta, and so then I will do what I must if I want to see this through until the end. You pitiful mortals, I will not allow for what happened to me before to happen again, no matter what I need to do. These mortals have crossed me for the last time, and so I did not come onto this rock to fail. Yes, and so one way or another, no matter what it is that I need to do, I will make sure that these mortals are all destroyed if it's the last thing that I possibly do. Perhaps it is too soon for me to destroy this planet without having them come for me for one final fight, and so I must know what remains on this world so it can be what kicks my plans into action. And if it can't begin with the blood of either Goku or Vegeta, then who will I choose to be my first blood sacrifice, Black Questions? I know I felt it around here somewhere. Yes, there, the mortal son, Gohan. Yes, how perfectly fitting, Black went on to shout. You will be what is used to draw those cowards out of hiding, wherever they may be. And I was always curious about what it would be like to face you, mortal. Since, of course, you and I had never had the chance to face one another before, perhaps here things will be a little different. Killing the son of the man who started all of this is the perfect way to get back at him for all of the damage and trouble he's caused. And he doesn't appear to be very far from this place either, Black says. Well then, Gohan, I hope you are ready for what's about to happen here. I've waited a long time for this moment, and I am going to make sure that I enjoy every second of it while it lasts. And so now then, just as it was in Trunks' world, I am going to wipe out this entire city along with every single person in it and wait to see how you will respond. This is going to be on your head, Gohan. Let's see if you have what it takes to protect these creatures while also trying to protect yourself. Oh, how I've missed the feeling of killing the weak. And so now then, let my Zero Mortals plan finally resume. To which, back on Beerus' planet, as all parties were now shown having to brawl up in the air with Beerus having to observe this, it was just upon with Whis now being shown having to sense something where Beerus went on to comment, "Oh, Broly's about to go in, Whis. You better be right about this or that maniac is going to have to deal with me if he starts getting out of hand. You hear me? Oh, just look at them butcher one another up there. I absolutely love it." Say, why are you so quiet all of a sudden, Beerus asks. What is it that you keep looking at out there, Whis? There's nothing happening in that direction. The fight's taking place right in front of you. Can't you see or what? It's honestly not that, but it's just, I can't help but shake this strange feeling of there being some kind of disturbance in that area over there. And it feels familiar, and yet, oh, maybe it's just nothing, or perhaps maybe there's something more that requires our attention, as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of Goku Black's Resurrection Manga Chapter number 9 special then comes to a close. Now this is it, with everyone having to do battle on Beerus' planet, with Gohan being the only one left on Earth, with Black now being as strong as he is by training in the Time Chamber and also now achieving several new transformations, this only now puts into question as to whether or not Gohan would be able to hold his own against Black before the others arrive. Things are most definitely now going to begin to ramp up, especially with Black now being in Universe 7, in which I cannot wait to show you guys everything that's about to transpire in the upcoming manga chapter, which is that of Manga Chapter number 10, which will of course be made available on Patreon first for all of my Patreon members out there to see. So if you would not only like to support the content that you see on this channel, but also gain exclusive access to so much more, then I do encourage you all to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming, to where the links to that will be located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, in which I do have to thank all of my existing members on Patreon, as well as all of you guys watching for your support and patience, because this is all pretty much thanks to all of you and your support and your time and your investment on this channel. So again, I deeply am grateful and thank you all so much for that. To which, once again, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel, then I also do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, and with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and or night wherever you guys are from, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms. you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.